And welcome back to Inside the Valley on this Sunday morning. Well, have you heard about the Great American Smokeout? What do you think, it's a barbecue? Well, it's not. Talk a little bit more about it today on the show. We have two experts. We have Tammy Risica and Yolanda Guzman. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so people are probably wondering right now, what is the Great American Smokeout? I just told them it's not a barbecue.
No.
It's actually a very, very important subject.
It is. We asked people on the third Thursday of November, which will be November 17th this year, to make a plan to quit smoking or to quit smoking, even if it's just for that day, because we know that there are some great benefits to even, 20 minutes after your last cigarette, your heart rate drops, your blood pressure drops. So, I mean, people who say, oh, I can't quit. There's help out there. We want you to commit to quitting, even if it's just for that one day.
Now, you just kind of mentioned some of the things there. I mean, your heart rate is probably going super quick. Your health factor when you're smoking,
your circulation.
I mean, everything, and sometimes even with your throat, I guess, you can feel it when you're smoking. What are some of the, we know long-term effects are, lung cancer. That's the most common that's linked to it. But there are other long-term effects as well from smoking.
Absolutely. When you smoke, it is the leading, most preventable cause of cancer. So if you're not smoking, you've just reduced your risk of getting cancer. And it's bladder cancer, lung cancer, cervical cancer. I mean, it affects mouth, throat. When you're just doing regular activities like walking up and down stairs, it inhibits your lung function. So we know that there's so many, it's controllable, and we know that there are so many bad things that happen when you smoke.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I don't, this is just me, my point of view, people back in the day when they started smoking, it was kind of like the cool thing to do. You'd see people on TV doing it. So then you'd have younger kids, picking up the pack of cigarettes, having it rolled up in their sleeves, smoking. Unfortunately, those kids back then have now grown up to be adults. They've got children, but they haven't quit smoking. They're continuing to smoke. Are you noticing a trend where the kids nowadays, if their parents are smoking, that the kids may pick up that cigarette and just try that one? Or are you noticing they're being more kind of, preventative and saying, why are you doing that? I don't want to do that.
There is a big drop in smoking as a whole. But you're starting to all of a sudden see a rise in smoking among the teenagers because of the e-cigarettes, the hookah bars, flavored tobaccos. And people say, oh, the e-cigarettes won't hurt you. Yeah, they're just as detrimental as a cigarette, if not worse, because we don't know the long-term effects of e-cigarettes. Right,
they're relatively new. Now, we know that there are some benefits, if you can really call them that, when they inhale and they smoke out, exhale, it doesn't smell like cigarette smoke.
But you're still affected by the same chemicals.
Exactly. And that's the thing I don't think people really realize, are the chemicals that are inside the e-cigarettes.
Exactly. And, even as a non-smoker, if you're around somebody who is smoking, you are exposed to those same chemicals, which are detrimental to the non-smoker as well.
And let's go back to the Great American Smokeout, because we're encouraging everyone. If you're a smoker, this is your opportunity. Just one day, don't light up. Put the cigarette down. Just that one day. You'll probably feel so much better 30 minutes, an hour after you do it. You're really encouraging the entire community, everyone here in the Valley, just to throw away that cigarette for one day, and maybe even not even buy a cigarette for one day, because if you can get by the one day, you can probably do it for another day, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And when we have great partners like the Tobacco Prevention and Control Coalition that are helping us with the Great American Smokeout, they're such a great partner for the American Cancer Society, and we have many locations that are also participating that day.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what it is that you do, Yolanda.
Well, we work with the youth. We educate them on tobacco awareness to prevent them from just picking up a cigarette from the get-go. We work with the local government to help pass 100% smoke-free ordinances. We've been very successful with Edinburgh, Mission, and Far, and we're working with other cities currently as well. And we just want to educate the community. When it comes to smoking indoors, we're not asking people not to smoke. We just want them to take it outdoors.
Right.
We want to protect the employees that work in these establishments like bars and restaurants as well.
Exactly.
You hear nowadays a lot of this. Someone who has been a smoker for their entire life never gets lung cancer, but somebody who may have been working in a diner around people who smoke, second degree lung cancer, or I'm not sure how they classify it, but they end up dying from lung cancer. What are some of the effects of secondhand smoke or just being around somebody who is smoking?
Well, we know that for an employee that works at these establishments where there is smoking indoors, that an 8-hour shift is equivalent to smoking 36 cigarettes. So it's a big
impactful.
impact.
Wow.
And you're talking 5 days a week for months, years. And so there has been cases where employees at these establishments have suffered, including death, if not cancer or other illnesses related to the secondhand smoke that they're exposed to. And then there's also thirdhand smoke, which is, you know, in the smoke and the chemicals that have now are on the walls and the carpets of these businesses that they are also exposed to.
Wow, and that can also be an effect long-term on their bodies.
Exactly.
Now, do you notice a lot of people who smoke, you may hear them coughing and they've got a really bad cough, but they're too afraid to go to the doctor. What's kind of your advice to them?
Go in and get that cough checked, or if you notice that you're having trouble, when you're doing regular activities, because we know that the sooner we diagnose cancer or problems like that, the more treatable they are. There's some new treatments out there, so it's important to get diagnosed and get diagnosed early.
What's the hardest part about folks who are smoking and they just want to give up, but they just can't, or they give up you hear about this, they give up for a week and then they go back and then they're on and off, on and off.
It's the nicotine. I mean, they're addicted to the nicotine. It's a very real addiction, and there is help out there. We have a quit line that we're going to be able to refer them to. They may be able to give them some nicotine replacement therapies and some counseling to help them. Because we want them to quit. We want to encourage them to take that first step.
And then real quickly here, Tammy, when is the Great American Smokeout?
November 17th.
Okay.
And if you go to each of our Facebook pages, you will find the locations where people are participating.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies, so much. We posted some information there, both the websites where you can find out about the Great American Smokeout or call the numbers we posted on your screen. Ladies, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure. And folks, that's going to do it for us for Inside the Valley on this Sunday morning. I hope you enjoyed the show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Alan Campbell. Have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday morning. Take care.